6:45 happening today. The suspect in the Golden State Killer and East Area rapist cases is expected to plead guilty. Joseph James DeAngelo is accused in a string of rapes, murders, and burglaries in California in the 1970s and 80s. Thanks to a plea deal being offered to him, DeAngelo will escape the death penalty for dozens of murders and kidnapping charges spanning 6 counties. In return, survivors of the assaults expect him to own up to the 62 rapes that he cannot be criminally charged with because too much time has passed. Of course, nothing is certain until DeAngelo speaks and then pleads guilty. Our Carlos Herrera joins us live, not from a courtroom, but from the Sac State University ballroom where today's hearing has been moved to. Carlos?
Yeah, Walt, the hearing will happen here this morning to provide social distancing during the coronavirus pandemic. Of course, they're expecting hundreds of people here, including the victims' families, and media from across the country, actually. In fact, we've seen a lot of activity here this morning in terms of preparations. This table has been set out here to make sure that media check in and go through in these doors. Also, we have been monitoring the situation and activity outside in terms of DeAngelo getting here this morning. That would signify or represent vans or unmarked cop cars, but we haven't seen anything in terms of that. Now, I also want to show you what I saw here this morning. I captured this on my cell phone video. This is Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies and officials walking around here with K-9 units, making sure everything here is up to date and going smoothly. Now, of course, the plea deal today is a very historic moment for California. Back in the 70s, his suspected spree of crimes really is accused of taking Sacramento areas or Sacramento County's innocence away. We heard from former Sacramento County Sheriff John McInnes earlier, actually over the weekend. He told us that it really affected the way people went through their lives. The crimes even inspired hundreds of neighborhood patrols and CB radio operators to help police capture him.
It was a vastly different time that I have not seen repeated, thank God. And so to understand that one person had the ability to wreak that kind of havoc on a community and paralyze a community, people in general, but especially young women, were just absolutely petrified.
And Walt, back out here live, we are hearing right now that we're seeing Sacramento County Sheriff's officials arriving in other vehicles here at the parking lot, which is just a walkway away. Historically, in high-profile cases like this one, the suspects or inmates leave the jail around 6 a.m. But again, we haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, Carlos, that was 12 years of terror. And then, where did he go? Whatever happened to him? Unfortunately, DNA led to his arrest a couple of years ago. And we'll see how the resolution happens today. Carlos, thank you at Sac State today.